Gary has recently been having trouble with a more traditional OCD problem, contamination.
I was just like walking around the block in my neighborhood, and all of a sudden this like windstorm came out of nowhere, and like wind was just blowing everywhere, and then it really picked up, and I was like walking on the sidewalk, and all this trash, these like newspapers, like picked up out of the gutter and like from like trash cans, and just started like blowing towards me, and I can't deal with newspaper, it's contaminated. I had to get away, so I rushed into the nearest building that was open, and I went inside, and it turns out it was an orphanage. And Sunday night, I guess they have open mic night, and so I'm a good-natured guy. I'm philanthropic. I thought, you know, what the hell? I'll give it a try. I think I'm a funny guy. So I get up on stage and I just start off, you know, softballing some stuff. You know, just like kids jokes, things that everyone knows, like knock-knock jokes. And, you know, like a guy walks into the bar, says, "Ouch!" These kids are just going crazy. I mean, I haven't felt this good about myself in like months. I mean, they're loving it. They're eating it up, and I have no idea how these kids hadn't heard these jokes before. I mean, I was, you know, born and bred on these jokes, but
oh, because they're around other kids, and these are kids' jokes.
Yeah. I mean, in an orphanage, I mean, like, you know, I would assume kids would be telling jokes. I mean, you know, they don't have parents. Like they've got to find some way to, you know, make life enjoyable. But they were eating it up, and so I decided that you know, I'd maybe try some of my own material. I had this monologue I've been working on. I thought, what the hell? I have it memorized. You know, I'll give it a shot, and so I launched into it.
Now, Gary is not such a bad guy, but I think there's some worry that without the OCD, opportunities like this orphanage open mic might not come up for him.
And these kids, they weren't getting any of the jokes, you know. And I noticed, you know, some kids in the front were like talking to each other. You know, I was getting pretty disconcerted on stage. You know, these kids weren't liking what I was doing. So I decided maybe, you know, I'd slip in an orphan joke at the end there. You know, close with a bang. You know, I thought it's, you know, something they certainly is close to heart. You know, they could, you know, I mean, I can laugh at myself. I can laugh at my OCD. Why can't they laugh at themselves? So I launched into this joke, and I mean, it's a joke a friend of mine told me a couple years ago. It's pretty dirty, but I thought, you know, for the situation, it was appropriate. So basically, there's this like 8-year-old kid, and he's sitting at home, he's eating mac and cheese, and he's like watching some TV, he's watching Letterman or something, and all of a sudden the phone rings, and he picks up the phone, and it's a policeman who's calling to tell them, to tell this kid that both of his parents were just killed in a horrible car accident. And so this kid starts crying. He doesn't know what to do. And his sister comes in, and he relates the message to his sister. And she's so shocked that she clasps her heart, and she falls down to the ground dead. Okay, so this orphan, this new orphan, he doesn't know what the fuck to do. So like he runs the medicine cabinet. He grabs all of his parents' prescriptions, and then he goes to his dad's bedroom, and he opens the drawer, and he gets the gun and the pocket knife that his dad.
Gary, you know, actually, our hour is up, so I'm afraid we're gonna have to stop.